All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the show. And so I have for you a strategy guide for the Hall of Guardians. Getting the Hall of Guardians faction maximum renown is one of the requirements of Whitehelm, which is one of the easiest to max out, thanks to Whitehelm having more available than any other king. For Air Kingdoms, your first priority is Whitehelm or Suncrest. Choice depends on whether you want Suncrest's attack bonus or Whitehelm's armor bonus first. Both orders work fine. I recommend putting down a third, and remember, don't push Hall of Guardians too hard until Whitehelm reaches level 4, because that unlocks a statue smoother their faction. Because there's minimal synergy with Hall of Guardians and Whitehelm, you do not need any of the Hall of Guardians locked unless you are preparing for a run or need to unlock them to satisfy a power requirement. Whitehelm. Six troops include Silent Sentinel, which includes a column, gains life points and against all other allies if silenced. And Silent Sentinel also inflicts silence when enemies deal skull damage to it, and that trait synergizes very well with its spell. Gargoyle deals splash damage by all allies attack. Guardian Pillar creates yellow gems and brown gems, and then barriers to ally. Arcane Golem loads a gem and stuns a random enemy for every yellow gem destroyed and gains attack skill. Savior Statue deals damage by buried allies and then barriers to allies. And finally, Ethereal Sentry allies attack skill points by the same amount as current armor and creates a light storm. Now, my recommended action one you see on the left-hand side of your screen, and it's also below. It is the Silent Sentinel, Ethereal Sentry, Gargoyle, and finally the statue. Strategy: cast Ethereal Sentry on Silent Sentinel early. That adds Sentinel's armor to its attack, giving you a huge skull damage boost. Want to do that as early as possible before Silent Sentinel starts taking. Now, once enemies do strike Sentinel with skulls, they get silenced, which lets you trigger its spell and enchant the rest of your. If the Sentinel starts looking shaky, switch the Ethereal Sentry to Gargoyle, so Gargoyle doesn't lose much of the attack scaling that you're building up. Gargoyle splash damage is the main spell damage source. Cast Gargoyle as often as you can, focusing on the enemy second and third slots to maximize spell damage. And then finally use Savior Statue to bury your allies at 5. Now for upgrades, I recommend prioritizing gold on Silent Sentinel and Gargoyle. Sentinel gains armor, and that translates directly into attack, and Gargoyle gains both attack and magic. Savior Statue is nice to boost, but optional. Ethereal Sentry doesn't benefit much from levels, so you can skip those two if your resources are tight. And when there's a Hall of Guardians faction assault in progress, gain the Guardian Crown, and if you do, you'll never use it, so I recommend Guardian Crown if your weapons, Whitehelm, are in order. Let's talk about the Delve map. Delve for the Hall of Guardians is straightforward, just rooms, starting room, the center room, and the level 6 room. Once you clear the center room, you can clear as many of the other surrounding rooms as you want. However, if you're aiming to progress to level 500, stay on track. Now, the Deep Delve map does not provide a lot of additional value for the people. To get to the treasure room, you must progress around the upper semicircle clockwise. From there, you have to complete the battle clockwise from the room or the center room before progressing to the level 6 room. So my recommendation is not waste sigils starting a delve for the Hall of Guardians. So let's take a look at the pets that you're going to want before you start your Hall of Guardians run. Both Sacred Cub and Starry Sacred Cub provide a boost to all Whitehelm team, which would include the Hall of Guardians faction team. Tiny Dancer boosts Hall of Guardians faction. And the best way to get to Tiny Dancers is to do a preliminary pure faction run on a level after 90, where you have enough copies of that to send it to Legendary for the best possible boost without wasting orbs of. And I would also consider getting Gargoyle from Hellcraig to level 20, as this pet boost construct team your armor boost for all of your Hall of Guardians. Now, attempting pure faction runs once Whitehelm hits level 14, both pets are at level 20 should be full. If it still feels tough, raise the kingdom level before investing more in the treasure hoard. Remember that the hoard stats jump by 25% at level 19, and Whitehelm boosts max at level 8. Until then, keep the hoard around level 150. Save gold and treasure for other factions. So let's review the plan. Stay focused and go for the 3-room clears when progress. Do not enter extra rooms. Do not use shelves, and do not waste resources on the Guardian. Your faction team in the description below. Upgrade Silent Sentinel and Gargoyle to elite gold. They're doing the same for Savior Statue. And make sure the King pets are at level 20 along with Gargoyle for all the extra stats. And of course, enjoyed this video, like, subscribe to this channel, and or follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see more of my content. In the comments below, let me know how you've done in the Hall of Guardians, and I'll see you in the next video.